Hey guys, so I wanted to go over my morning plan, my execution, and how it all played out for this morning. So I kind of just wanted to go explain kind of what I go into the morning looking for, specifically for this morning, and then how I plan to execute, how I executed, and then how it played out for the day. So we'll start with I always have the daily over here, the 4 hour over here, and then over here I have the 15 minute, and this is kind of what I was looking at going into the morning. Um, Even before opening up the charts this morning, I was very aware of this reaction out of here at the end of the day yesterday, comes back down, tests it, and then comes back up here, and then it just continues to uh, grind higher. I was long from over here yesterday. Took partials here, and then basically stopped on a runner right around here, 55.50. So this 55.50 level was really important for me going into the morning. This is what the morning looked like. And so that's kind of what I was thinking this morning. I didn't want to be overly short for a couple of reasons. One, after such an extended move, you kind of feel like there's not a lot of meat left on the bone trying to be short on this. Although I will say that I thought that I didn't want to be short even earlier in the week and even late last week. So maybe I was a little early to that, but at least I didn't position myself too heavy on one side or the other. But I was waiting for this move essentially, waiting pretty much all week long for this move. And so this was also a critical point for a critical level for me because this right here, this fib is a monthly fib from the low of the October 2022 low. So I knew that if it came here, we would either chop around, dip below, and then come back up at the very least for a reaction, and not just like a bounce of like a day or an hour, but a possible, decent reaction squeeze. Even if we are going to be trending lower, for a few more months, this is a place that I would look to get a decent, squeeze up a reaction off of. And then this is like the GP from I don't even know from when. So this entire zone for me was very important, and we reacted well after hitting it yesterday. So my thinking was longs for this morning. I didn't even have really a good short plan. It was essentially if we broke below this level and held, that I would look to maybe target here, but I wasn't really even comfortable with that. So I'm almost happy that it didn't quite play out. So my initial supports, my aggressive supports, was right here. So I'm thinking if we're strong, as strong as I would expect us to be after this reaction here, then this is where I would really like to hold and hold well and continue to move off of. And so that's kind of what I was looking at in the morning. And then so over here, I have essentially several areas of confluence. This was drawn after the market opened, and I'll show you kind of this was actually my entry. Now, if we were in an uptrend, I would probably want to limit in right here, essentially with a stop like just below here. But given the the choppy action, rip 30, 40 points up and then rip down 30, 40 points. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to see some sort of confirmation. So so then once market is about to open, I flip to my execution charts, which is over here. I have the 15 minutes is what I have over here. I over here have a 30-minute. This used to be a 2-minute, but now I don't really even care to look at the 2-minute. Sometimes I'll flip to it, but again, I'm looking at higher time frames. And so over here, I'm looking at the 15. Over here is the 30, and then over here the switches to my main execution, which is the 15. And mostly, I'm watching essentially the 15 and the 5. And so this is what I'm looking at market open. Market comes. I don't. Market comes into. Let me see where it was. Oh, right here. Okay. Market opens right here, dips right into the level, and an immediate reaction off of this. And so again, I would normally limit into this. There's a VWAP here. There's the 1 hour order block here. There's a hourly fib here, and then support just below here on the 30-minute IFVG. So this is like the area I wanted to hold. It holds almost perfectly. And so because my plan was so detailed, I immediately limit. I think this was a limit. I might have just dragged this up, but I basically get filled right here, and then take off the majority of the position right here, and then leave another I think I took one off over here, and then when this came back down, I get stopped out right over here. So most of everything was taken off right around here, even though this was my first final TP for at least this leg. And so that's kind of how I played out the morning. Then when we see this, and I knew I wanted also to be out of the position, any position, at by 7 o'clock or 10 a.m. New York, thinking that again we could either get a rip or we could get a complete sweep of everyone that was in here, including me. So I was happy to take off everything right around this kind of zone. However, once it dipped into here, and I see this reaction, and it's not going below, let's say, this original entry of mine, and then as well as this bottom portion of the 30 minute here, I'm thinking we're going to just continue to go higher. And if I flip to the 1 hour, it's holding the 1 hour 9 EMA. Nothing is breaking below. So this would have been a good, I guess, second entry. I did on another account get in right here, but at that point, like I said, I've been pretty burnt out from the week. I didn't really care to hold. I basically uh, I took off at like break even and then got re-entered at about here and then took off the rest of it here. But if this was probably my first trade and if it hadn't been such uh, a difficult price action week for me personally, this would have been just this whole area would have been the zone I would have liked to see hold for a continuation move higher. Again, if you look at my pre-morning plan, it was essentially this was my first target. This would have been my second target. This is third, and then that wick, which we might still get to today, is that right over here, this CPI wick up here. Again, I would not want to be shorting any of this action going into today because it was bound to happen. And I didn't want to be a part of it if it wasn't going to be long. I didn't want to be a part of the short at all. So overall, happy with how the game plan played out and the patience and execution for today. And hopefully we get cleaner price action for next week. Thanks and have a great weekend, guys.